Boom, coming in hot, Cincy. What's going on, man?
Coming in hot. Chase has got the charge outfit on. He's charging.
I am charging, bro.
Yeah. Do you get an elbow pain yet or the armpit pain from the crutches yet or
You
not?
know what's funny, dude? Crutching around, I guess, with my leg throbs so much that
Oh, you're good.
sitting's not comfortable either because I can't sit on my right side. But like I do find a position on the couch where I can get the pillows right. So I haven't really like grinded. I've been on these things before. The one good thing is you can't teach experience. Two times in my life when I broke my feet, I've been on these things for 4 months. And so I know what these are like. And I do feel like I get around pretty good with them, like up and down the stairs. So I haven't had the chafing yet, bro.
I got you. Oh, the chafing.
The chafing will get you. That'll lock you down, make you not want to go anywhere.
Yeah. One guy doesn't have to worry about that because he's 22 years old. It's Chase Burns, bro. Mr. Burns. Cincinnati Reds. Let's give you something positive to watch on TV. You're Reds, dude. This kid is legit.
Yeah. Dude, well, listen. I think one of the places that the Reds are doing really well is in starting pitching. Obviously, Hunter Green's been banged up a little bit, but, you know, you look at Andrew Abbott, what he's done. Nick Lodolo's got nasty stuff. Nick Martinez has been good. You know, top to bottom, you know, and Hunter Green was one of the best pitchers in the game. And then you add Chase Burns, the #2 pick out of Wake Forest last year, who throws 100 miles an hour. And if you watched last night, Chinch, in his debut against the Yankees, first off, not an easy club to debut against. Punches out the first 5 guys. Obviously, Judge is in there too. Hits him with a nasty, like 92-mile-an-hour slider just off the plate. I mean, dude, this guy looked like the real deal. No doubt about it.
Well, and talk about, I mean, I look at like kind of side story things, and you know, you're 22 years old, you're coming up, you got this fan base which is amazing behind you, and you got no walks over 5 minutes. Struck out 8, 0 walks. There's a mental discipline that goes into that where you're like, that's why he's the 11th prospect in all of baseball, right?
Well, exactly. He's attacking the strike zone. He looks at his stuff, and this is also one thing about college pitchers too. He's had 3 years, you know, down there at Wake Forest, you know, doing his thing with Tom Walters, who's one of the best, I think, coaches in Division I baseball, and really developing his game, really, you know, having all the, you know, all the tools. They got all these tools and gadgets at Wake Forest. I feel like they're a cut above everybody else, especially pitching wise. And, you know, to watch Chase Burns would just, you know, looked like he knew what he was doing, where he wanted to go, where he wanted to attack. You know, that thing I talked about yesterday with Skenes saying, hey, when he watches Scooble, he sees a predator out there. Like, I watched Burns out there. It looked like a predator. You know, he wasn't nervous. He wasn't scared to face Judge and these guys. He came right at him, filled up the strike zone, said, my stuff's great, hit it if you can. And, dude, if that's part of the future in Cincinnati, you don't think Terry Francona was in the dugout going, let's go. And, dude, I was just there the other day because I went down with Dr. Kremchak, and I got the chance to see Rick Stowe and got a chance to sit down with Tito and Mike Napoli and a lot of the guys, you know, Brad Mills and Freddie Benavidez, all these amazing guys in that organization. Bro, they're good. And I said to him, too, I said, you guys haven't made that run yet. The Cardinals made a run. The Cubs made a run. The Brewers made a run. They've won 8 or 9 in a row, all that stuff. The Reds haven't made that run yet. Dude, they've won 20. Don't look now, but they've won 12 of 17. Don't look now, but they just walked off the Yankees, winning back-to-back nights against one of the best clubs in the big leagues. Like, Ellie De La Cruz, his numbers are the best in his career, you know, with a mid-8 OPS and starting to elevate, still stealing bases. I think he hit his 18th homer the other day or 15th, or, you know, whatever. Like, putting the combination together. Gavin Lux has been a nice sign for them, walked it off last night. Ignacio Strand is back in the mix with a big hit last night. Spencer Steers starting to get rolling. Matt McLean starting to go the other way and swing it. AJ Friedel at the top of that lineup, he's swinging it. That bullpen's starting to match up. Like, watch out. Cincinnati Reds are 42-38. They've won 12 of 17. They're starting to make that run. They've been hovering around 500 all year long. I'm sure it's been frustrating at times for Tito. You know, they got a real leader in Jose Trevino, who I know has called a couple team meetings to be like, hey, let's go. Like, let's play the game hard. Like, it's unacceptable if we're not out there busting it out every night. So they got some pieces in place, Change, that the Cincinnati Reds are about to make some noise, and they're doing it right at the right time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you said it. There you go. We got a lot of Reds fans that follow this podcast because Sean Casey, if you did not know, is a Reds Hall of Famer. To your point, dude, that crowd is ready for it. 39,257 last night, dude. Place was rocking. Terry Francona, to your point, was he excited? Quote, yeah, that was pretty cool. He didn't get too excited, as we mentioned earlier. I think he enjoyed the competition. There's a lot to like with their starting pitcher. So let's go, man. Baseball's better when the Reds are good. Say it.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth, man. They are. And, Jake Fraley made a play into the wall. Just so many guys, dude. Like, they're a true team. And Tito is the ultimate guy to bring men together. And, and I know, and one other thing I'll say, I'm not going to, obviously it's clubhouse talk, so I'm not going to say it, but I know they're having fun after the games. They're like, they're getting together as a team. They're having some fun, doing things that is team bonding, that Tito's brought them together. So, we start to have that kind of stuff. People start to play free. They start to play loose. And all of a sudden you start to see the athleticism come out in the team that they've assembled. Nick Kral's done a good job of that. And also too, they just got rid of Jamer Candelario. They just let go, and he was their big free agent sign last year, 3 for 45. I mean, that's not nothing,
Right.
So
Hey, well, that's the culture. You got Terry Francona there. He knows what he's doing.
right. And Tito's starting to find out, when you're around these guys now for spring training in 80 games, you're now seeing, okay, he's my guy. That's my guy. That's my leadoff guy. That's my number 3 hitter. That's the guy I'm platooning with right there. There's my setup man. He's my closer. You know what I mean? Like, now Tito's, you've given him enough information now for Tito to work his magic. That's why he's so good to say, okay, now I see the pieces. Now we're playing chess.
There you go. Beautiful. All right. Be excited, Reds fans. You heard it here from the mayor himself. All right. Now we got to go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Another team you played for. You're living in that city. Pittsburgh Pirates. Man, Oneal Cruz has everything that you look at to be like, this guy could be a superstar. Bench last night. The hustle has been an issue. Is hustle an issue in the game today, Case?
Well, it has to be. I mean, it takes no talent to hustle. I mean, that's at the end of the day. I think one of the biggest things is you got to have pride and respect the game of baseball at the end of the day, because this game's been around 150 years, and it's going to be around another 150 years and longer after that. And too many guys have played the game, did not play the game right and respect the game. So if you're not respecting the game, if you don't remain humble and respect the game, this game will humble you. I've seen it too many times. I've experienced it myself, where you start to think you got things figured out. You don't. But one thing you can figure out is your effort, is your attitude and your effort every day. You can choose that every single day, that no matter what, I'm busting it. I pop up to the infield, I'm busting it. I ground it to the pitcher, I'm busting it. And for Oneal Cruz, he has had 2 incidences in the last few days. The one in center field where the ball was hit to him and it went under his glove and he didn't run and go get it. I know this game can be embarrassing. Talking to a guy got thrown out from left field, it's embarrassing at times. And when you show up in that batter's box and you have the courage to show up on a big league field, you're probably going to get embarrassed at some point. And as a human being, that's probably our worst nightmare alive. There's so many things that stop us. What do they say? There's two phrases that have killed more dreams than fear ever could. Is what will they say? What will they think? Right? You know what I mean? That's what will they say? What will they think? Stops us from doing so much in life. Hey, guess what? When you're on a big league ball field and you have the courage to cross those white lines, those questions are going to be asked tonight. What will they say? What will they think? And you got to be mentally tough enough to say, you know what? I'm going balls out no matter what. If I have a bad game, I'm playing it right. I'm playing it hard. If I remember Dave Collins telling me when I was with the Reds, my first big league spring training, got us together. He said, if you don't have a 4-second sprint down the line for your teammates, you shouldn't be wearing this uniform. If you can't give your teammates 4 seconds, you shouldn't be wearing this uniform. And I've always took that adage. There wasn't, one day I didn't sprint everywhere, on the field, off the field, to first, try to turn a single into a double, all that kind of stuff. Try and score from second for my teammates, get big secondary leads. So there's a way to play this game, Chinch. And I think Donnie Kelly did the right thing. I mean, he missed the ball in center. Then last night he hits a ball to short, and he's might be the fastest guy in the big leagues. 5 steps, he's at first base, and he was out by like 3 steps. You could tell he was jogging to first. And then he took him out of the game, which you got to do. You got to send a message. I remember Aaron Boone last night doing that last year to Gleyber Torres. But there's no excuse for not hustling, dude. I don't give a crap if they say this is the way they're doing it in 2025, bat flips. I get all that. That has nothing to do with hustle. It takes no talent to hustle. Attitude and hustle are two things you choose every single day. And if I'm a manager, I got to police that. Because if I don't, then the inmates run the asylum. Anyone can just do whatever they want. And I saw Oneal Cruz say something that I respected, because if you've watched Andrew McCutchen play the game all these years in his career, and especially in Pittsburgh, this guy hustles no matter what. Tommy Pham hustles no matter what. So if you're a young kid looking at these veterans, you know that they're showing you the way.
I got Cruz's quote for you, to your point. He said, DK had all the rights to do what he did, and I'll back him up on that. It was my fault because I thought there were 2 outs in the situation. That's why I left running off first base. But he's like, look, it's my fault. That, like, at least you take ownership of it. You get better. What'd you say?
Don't get bitter, get better.
Yeah. I go back to one of the greatest quotes in baseball history from one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Reporter asked Joe DiMaggio once, why do you play so hard? The quote is, because there might have been somebody in the stands today who'd never seen me play before and might never see me again.
Ooh.
You like that, don't you?
If we could all take that adage. I remember my dad used to tell me, he told me, listen, people are spending their hard-earned monies to come to a game. And they might be able to afford one game with their son all year long. That might be the only game they see me play or anybody play. Give them their money's worth. And if you're 0 for 4, don't disrespect the people that are there and you're just walking out there when people would die to be a Major League Baseball player. You got to get perspective. At times the ego creeps in that you're bigger than, the game, and you never are. And I'm not saying Oneal Cruz thinks that. I'm saying for anybody that plays the game, for anyone that has the privilege and the honor to wear a big league uniform, dude, the privilege and the honor to wear a big league uniform. Are you kidding me? Or just a uniform. I'd say the same thing. I think about, saying, I talked to a couple clubhouses recently, and I say that to them, like, this is going to be done one day. You think it's going to last forever, but it doesn't. So don't take it for granted. And when you're dogging it out there and not playing 100%, you're taking it for granted, because one day someone's not going to want your autograph. One day nobody cares. Nobody does care. And, at the end of the day, play it right, play it hard, and no one will say anything to you. And I think I said that to you about Mike Piazza one day. The way he played the game, he came to first base. I said, man, how do you do it? How do you play here in New York? He goes, Case, I just play as hard as I can all the time. And he goes, if I don't get a hits that day, people respect the fact that I'm still playing hard and doing it the right way.
Yeah, man. Hey, there's been a lot of baseball players. Willie Mays quit playing. The game still went on. Derek Jeter quit playing. The Yankees still play baseball every day. Right. You mentioned your line is great when you saw the ticker just say Sean Casey retires.
That's it. Yeah. Off it goes. There goes 12 years, 3-time All-Star. Yeah. No one cares, dude. Life goes on. Life goes on. And the other thing about Oneal Cruz right now, dude, at the end of the day, like, I know we get all enamored about exit velo, and this guy's got a lot of potential. He's hitting 208. I mean, those are the facts. I'm not making that up. It's just the reality is he's hitting 208. So I always felt like when I sucked, I'm going to hustle even more, because that's one thing at least I can do is like
hustle,
play the game, play the game hard. Hustle doesn't slump. Hustle doesn't slump. So, you can't steal first in this game. At the end of the day, you got to have a good approach. You got to be able to slow the game down. You got to be able to start hunting zones, hunting fastballs, and get at it and get out of that rut. But, for me, I don't care how hard you hit the ball. You got to get hits. You got to get on base.
Yeah. Well, let's make it a little positive for your Buccos right now, because they do have the guy on the mound today, dude. This is going to be like hardest pitched game of the year potentially between these two dudes firing. You got Paul Skenes going.
Yep. And was it Misiorowski?
Yeah.
Misiorowski, dude. I mean, this guy has electric stuff.
Yeah, I got to pull up this Chipper Jones tweeted earlier today, and it's, best believe I'm going to tune in till Milwaukee this afternoon. Electric stuff on display. Skenes versus Misiorowski. I'm here for it. Chipper Jones, dude.
Dude, Chipper, I'll be right there with you, dude. Call me if you want to talk and talk hitting or something like that. But dude, I'm going to be watching. I tell you what, after I get off this podcast, I'm going right to that couch. I'll have nothing to do. I'll be getting my journaling in, a little, my protocol, and then bam, I'm going to sit and watch that game. You better book that.
Go. All right. All right. You said it all. Look at Casey with all the adrenaline exercise.
Hey, I look forward to this, dude. I got nothing else to do, and this kind of gives me some energy. So I appreciate you, Cincy. I love you, man, and appreciate everybody out there listening. Enjoy that game at 2:00 today. Skenes Misiorowski, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
See ya.